Y'all, Wizard101 just announced something that most people never thought they would ever do. That's right. I'm talking about nothing other than the tweet from yesterday. They announced a whole new online store. They're selling all kinds of stuff. They're selling merch. I mean, do I have to say more? I feel like we have to look at it. So yeah, you're not in a fever dream. If you go to their Twitter, you can find this too. This is called like the King's House store. And by the way, let me, get it out of the way. They didn't tell me to make a video on this. This is just my honest opinion. And honestly, y'all, this is my honest thoughts. Like, I feel like some of this actually goes hard. I would not wear some of this. Also, I feel like if anything where they just slapped a logo on a hoodie, that's not for me. I'm seeing this dude, he looked good. The hoodie looks good. But I feel like that's just not my style. But I do think some of this stuff looks dope. I think this hat, dope. This bubble shirt might be my favorite thing on this. They also got some really, really cool posters. Now, I kind of wish they would go a little bit beyond the loading screens. But I think even something like this, right? Something that I don't see a lot, it looks actually really cool, right? Maybe they could make more, like stuff like this. I don't know how hard these are to make for posters and stuff. I feel like a ton of people would get these. Looks like they got a lot of stuff that you could buy, lots of different designs. It's a little bit pricier, like $28 for a shirt, but that's what you expect when it's merchandise. I feel like, honestly, this is normal nowadays. But yes, I never thought I'd actually see the day where they would actually do something like this. I mean, obviously, I know they've probably had their brush-ins here and there with merchandise. They've been doing a lot of stuff, especially with like the plushies. And honestly, on the surface level, it might even just look like they're just trying to milk money. I honestly think that might just be what it is. Maybe they're just like, yo, people are gonna pay for this, let's sell it to them. But just as I said in those videos that I made when they were selling all these plushies, I do feel like this is one of the really, really cool ways you could advertise that's way beyond just like, buying ad space on a website. Because the second someone buys this shirt or buys something that they put up and, someone sees it and asks questions, you start having like that word of mouth type of transmission. It's potent. It can be powerful. So while yes, this is probably, a way for them to make money in the short term, it's probably an investment into a form of advertising that we've never seen Wizard101 do. Anyone who does YouTube, does streaming, anything like that, they'll tell you like merchandise, yes, it's amazing if you can sell a lot of units and all that, but it's a form of advertising as well. So I think a big takeaway from this new announcement is probably that whoever's in charge is probably putting a lot more into advertising than they used to. And by the way, I know that a lot of people have spread this idea that they don't advertise anymore. That is actually simply not true. I can actually tell y'all right now, even when I log on to YouTube, I get all kinds of targeted ads from Wizard101. Why is this promising? Because we don't live in a world where TV ads like, they used to put out are even effective anymore. And this seems to be a gigantic misconception within this community because a lot of people probably found this game when they were watching TV. I don't own a TV, I don't own cable, and I feel like I represent a lot of people when it comes to that type of stuff. Advertising is all about what you encounter online. Whether you like it or not, that's the world we live in. The fact that they're interacting with that space, that means the world. That means everything, because the fact that they even know to do that and aren't wasting their time with TV ads, that's really important for the future of a game that really did experience a huge surge from their early successes in advertising in a totally different, time. One of their recent ones, and I really, the strategy is like kind of like starting to like, it's kind of cool. This stuff fascinates me, but they basically bought up, I guess, ad space, but what the ad actually was just a link to the video that they put out for the 15th anniversary for Wizard101. And I don't know if y'all remember this absolute banger of a video. Everyone was like, yo, this is like nostalgic. Oh my God, this is amazing. And I think what that advertisement did very well, maybe in an unspoken way, is it actually balanced the fact that yes, this is a source of nostalgia for a lot of people, but you can experience all that growth and change that comes with real life with something like a magical universe that Wizard101 is. Right, that messaging, it's not like they didn't put it into words, but they really got it out. And what's even crazier is I actually have already seen evidence, basically like out of the blue that these ad campaigns are working. So in the official Wizard101 Discord, right, this is like, a place pretty small in comparison, I would assume, to the majority of people that play Wiz. I've seen multiple comments already of people that have newly joined that Discord from seeing that advertisement. So what did that advertisement, accomplish? One, it was a really cool product that made a lot of people feel the magic of why they love Wiz. But beyond that, not only did they get new players to join the game, but they also got them to join spaces where they can interact with the community at a deep level from the get-go. Imagine if you had the opportunity to play Wiz for the first time in a long time, or the first time ever, maybe even, and you have access to a community like Discord, where a bunch of people want nothing more than for more people to play and support you. Right? That's monumentally better for making you want to keep playing the game than someone like me, for example, that started the game with menu chat. And, you know, I just happened to like the game, right? There was only really stronger connections that I built with the game much, much later. That's what their new strategy with advertising is doing. That's not something that we've actually seen with stuff like TV ads, for example. And I feel like a lot of things, right? The fact that they're buying ad space so that they could push this specific message, right? The fact that they're opening a new store, and simply the fact that they're just adding so many new things, even 15 years in, I think it all goes to show that there's no reason to be pessimistic about the future of this game. Now, as far as my feedback on what they could do better, specifically with this, because, you know, I guess it feels like a new thing. One comment that I did see a couple of times in the thread where they announced this was that they said that the website design was a little bit basic, and some of the designs, I guess, yeah, especially I would assume the ones where just the logos on it, a little bit basic. Now, on the topic of the website design, it is way better than the main Wizard101 website. Let's get that out of the way. It actually looks somewhat like, you know, up to date. There's like, you know, moving parts. I just feel like it's overwhelmingly white, which I think is kind of like a turnoff. Maybe some kind of other color that maybe complements some of the designs better. Maybe, I don't know. White just feels like, I don't know. It feels like the last bit of effort could have been put into that and it just wasn't. And as far as the logos or the designs being basic, first off, not all of them are. And I think the ones that are, I feel like they're just throwing that in there maybe even just to like as a starting point. And I assume they're going to expand this as time goes on. All in all, I think the big takeaway for me is, especially if you look at the past year, it does seem like Gamigo or whoever's in charge, I think they're investing a lot more resources than Wiz has ever done into just spreading the word about the game, right? You see things like social media engagement, right? You see TikTok, you see Twitter. I'm sure we've seen all of that. But now they're adding, like, you know, especially recently, really cool ad campaigns on YouTube, really cool merchandising stuff. I think it's fun to see. I just don't think this was stuff that I don't think this was even in the conversation even a few years ago. And I think it just really goes to show that this is a living, breathing game that we're playing, and it has a lot of movement upward. And I think when, you know, especially when a big company acquires, you know, this game that we love, you know, I think the first gut reaction is a game going to be unrecognizably different? Is the nostalgia going to die? And while the answers to those questions are still unclear, things like this do give me more hope, because I feel like recent events, it makes me think that they're not just trying to milk the game, they're actually trying to build a community. Let me know what you guys think about this. A bunch of y'all brought this up on stream. I was low-key, like, you know, I honestly didn't even click on the store until today, but hopefully y'all enjoyed my takes on this, you know? I mean, you know, what's your favorite design? Let me know. What do you guys think about the fact that they're releasing a new store? I look forward to reading all of y'all's comments. Drop a like if you enjoyed, leave us a review, and as always, if somebody hasn't told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong, stay awesome, see y'all soon, and yeah.